In this week's episode, I'm going to talk about Solo, a Star Wars story. But beware, there's spoilers ahead. Hello, welcome to my side laundry room. My name's Rob, and as you can see this week, I'm riding solo, talking about Solo. Our schedules still aren't syncing up, but Chris will be back soon. Anyway, there's no better way to start than to just jump right in. I saw Solo Thursday night. This is now Friday night, and I'll post this on Tuesday in the normal time slot. Hopefully that gives enough time for the people who want to see this movie time to see it, and then they can enjoy a little dissection, a little discussion on it. But what I want to talk about is the movie itself and how the fandom is handling it. Ever since they announced this movie, people have been up in arms with, we didn't ask for this, or no other actor should portray Han Solo, the different director disputes that came up, the hiring of Ron Howard. This movie has been in the muck as far as fans go. But throwing that all out right this moment, I love the movie. I did. And you can see my quick review that I did here. And I did that on the way home because I was just so damn excited after seeing it. Because it was something fresh. You can say fan service, which there's nothing wrong with that. We complain when we are given fan service. And then we complain when we're not given it. Being a Star Wars fan, it's a really weird time. Ever since I was born, for the most part, I mean, I was 1 when the original New Hope came out, but all my life Star Wars has been there. It courses through my veins. It is something that I've always had, I've always enjoyed, and I've always fantasized about. Now, there are a lot of people that love the mythology, love the ideology of it, but me, it's more of a primal love. I love the visual. I love the imagination. I love being transported to a galaxy far, far away. And that's it for me. Yes, I love the mythology and stuff like that, but it's not enough to keep me up at night. It's not enough for me to debate somebody. It's not enough for me to rile against somebody and put them down and threaten their family over. No. But throwing that all out, this movie is just pure fun. It was made as a funny action movie set in a fantasy world. And yes, I say fantasy because I don't want to ever call Star Wars science fiction, because it is fantasy. It has all the tropes of fantasy more than science fiction, in my opinion. But this, in my opinion, to use the word more than anything in this video, because that's all this is, my opinion of it, this is what we needed as a palate cleanser. I think everyone should give this movie a shot, because there is no mythology to argue about. There are no, well, he should have done this, because it is unexpected. It is a realm that they have covered a little bit in the past, but it truly is open. Growing up, I was always told that Han and Chewie met in a Empire prison camp. Han saved Chewie's life, and the life debt was there that led to friendship. We got that in this movie. So to me, this is my pure childhood come to life. Yes, there's a lot more compiled on that in this movie, and honestly, it doesn't let up. This is an action movie from the moment it starts to the moment it ends. And that's great. Like I said, it's a palate cleanser. You don't have to, well, I really thought Rey should have done this, so this movie sucks because she didn't. Well, they killed off Snoke, so this movie sucks because we never got his background. There's none of that. None of it. You can just go in, eat your popcorn, enjoy being whisked away to Lucasville, and enjoy Star Wars. Now, to get into the actor that played Han Solo, I'm horrible with names, so I'm just going to skip over that and not sound like an idiot and just say the dude that played Han Solo in Solo was good, really good. There were shades of Harrison Ford, but he wasn't trying to emulate him. It truly was all his personality and everything that were coming out, and I found nothing wrong with that because he's so young, and we were all different when we were young. So for me, that was an easy hurdle to get over because I can say I'm a completely different person now at almost 42 than what I was at 22, which is where I would think that he was around this movie, age-wise. The Han that we see has a lot more miles on him when it comes to New Hope. But there were the baseline character was there. Now, skipping ahead a little bit, but Donald Glover playing Lando Calrissian was probably one of the most genius decisions ever. He was awesome in the movie, and that is from what we saw in cartoon canon of Lando when they introduced him to this, which is probably, I guess Rebels takes place after this. I could see it. I mean, he did a great job, and Lando was funny, charming, but the press or whomever jumped on this whole pansexual thing. You know, I think in a alien environment where there's thousands of different species and aliens and races running around, pansexual is redundant. I mean, love, sex, whatever. I mean, I'm sure you can fall for anybody that's different, any different race or species. I mean, to me that seems like a no-brainer. But to hype that, to advertise that, I think that's just drumming up trouble for the trolls that are out there. Because, and no offense to people, but I was approached by somebody that's like, I really want to see the movie, but how is the pansexual thing handled? It wasn't handled anyway. Lando is just a dude, and he might have had some attraction to Han. So what? He told a couple little anecdotes that were very Kirk-like in nature of talking about, lady aliens. Big whoop. That's about it. And the fact that he had a deep friendship with his droid companion, but, I mean, Does that fall into pansexual? I don't know. But I found that kind of weird that they hyped that when it's kind of a non-issue, in my opinion. I mean, if I lived in the Star Wars universe, I don't know who I would fall in love with or get married to. I mean, who knows? Excuse me, need my coffee. So, in summary, Donald Glover kicked ass. He was awesome as Lando. And that's the Lando that I wanted to see, I got, and then I enjoyed. The Han Solo. What I wanted, what I got, I enjoyed. Now, Chewie. We got to see a whole nother side of Chewie in this movie. He just wasn't delegated as a supporting character. He was one of the main characters. And that was great. That was beyond fantastic to see. Yes, there's some comedic beats between him and Han, which there always has been, so that fit. But to see... Okay. There's a part where they're in a spice mine, and Chewie's whole motivation is to find his family, because after the Empire takes over Kashyyyk, they disbanded all the Wookiees and put them into different slaving colonies. So his biggest motivation is to find his tribe or his family. And when he does come across some Wookiees in this spice mine, I mean, he throws down to save his people, and that is awesome. I kind of wish we got a little bit more of that, because it was just him beating the living hell out of people, and then it flashes, and then him and the freed Wookiees beat the crap out of more people to save Han, and them embracing Han because he saved Chewie, and, it was awesome. That is what I wanted to see. And to see Chewie just go apeshit ballistic on people that truly deserved it, these spice slavers. I mean, right there. There could have been 2 hours of that, and I would have gladly paid money and thrown more on top as a thank you. Now, the new characters. Woody Harrelson's character, he did a fantastic job. And he is in that movie pretty much from beginning to end. It's not your typical stunt casting, as some of the other characters were, unfortunately, in the movie. He was a fleshed out character that really brought the Western vibe to it. The outlaw, the rustler. See, the movie, in my opinion, emulated a couple different styles of film. One of the biggest standouts to me was it very much felt like a World War II movie, when you saw the Empire with their stormtroopers and stormtrooper cadets in the trenches being blown to hell. You see stormtroopers laying in mud pits screaming, "My leg! My leg!" So that kind of painted a humanity to them, which is what we wanted, because Han, being in that and him going AWOL, leaving, seemed much more impactful than the Finn scene in Force Awakens, when he has his turnaround, which, he saw his buddy die. This was, the Empire wasn't truly winning. They were getting the hell blown out of them. And when Han would stand up to his officers and say, "Why are we doing this?" "Because we need to purify this planet. We need to make it one with the Empire." That's all the motivation these lieutenants and stuff needed to push their soldiers to kill themselves. All in the name of the Emperor. Which, For some reason, for me, being super dork, got a real Warhammer 40k vibe out of it. But you go from that to everything from a heist film to a western. And it was great. It was great to see Star Wars handled that way. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, and I don't know if a lot of you felt this way, but Star Wars was just a movie. Yes, it was awesome. And after New Hope, we got Empire and Jedi, which created a 3-movie mythology for us, but they were just movies. We loved them. We ate and slept and breathed them, but they were just movies. I think after that, when you add the prequels to it, they became something more to the fans. I mean, of course, we had books and comics and role-playing games and video games that were in those worlds, but I don't think the fervor and the rabid fan base came until the prequels almost. And maybe that was built upon the hate for them. But they were just movies. This felt like just a movie, and I enjoyed it. It didn't need to delve into anything. I didn't need to feel anything. I didn't need to think about anything. I just needed to enjoy that universe. And I did. Now, another standout was that I mentioned Lando's droid. I forget her name, but that was a very good character and a nice departure from the usual droids that we're used to. Yes, she was comedy relief for the most part, but the fact that she was a champion of droid rights, and when there was a time to free other droids and how she reacted, it was awesome. I mean, it was a good addition to the movie. And Paul Bentley playing the main villain, I mean, he wasn't in it a lot, and yeah, it was kind of a letdown by the end of the movie that there was no Jabba the Hutt, but he was a pretty cool crime lord. And speaking of crime lords, this movie ties into the canon of the cartoons beautifully. They talk about the Red Sun crime family, that in the cartoon, for a time, Darth Maul was the leader of them. And yes, he makes a cameo at the end of the movie. Ray Park plays him, and it is the Darth Maul with the robotic legs, and it wasn't a Vader scene like at the end of Rogue One. It was just a quick dialogue-y moment of seeing him, and it was that, to me, I mean, that blew me away because of being a fan of the cartoon series and then being canon to the Star Wars universe now. That was awesome to see. Of course, yes, I'm hearing people that aren't super fans but love Star Wars complain because they're confused. They don't understand why he's in it. They thought he was dead. They never watched the cartoon. It kind of, I guess, the couple reviews that I read, it slipped under their radar to even bother with it and wonder if it even is canon. And it is, but beautiful addition to it. Like I said, that blew me away. Was awesome. He even had the lightsaber that was in the cartoon with the cool fins on it for his blades. I really don't know what else to say. I mean, I can just keep on saying it was awesome, it was awesome, it was awesome, give it a shot. Because that's all I think people really need to do is give it a shot. You'll love it. I mean, the people saying the whole Disney regime, that I don't know. I just think that argument makes people look like racist assholes, honestly. Well, they have an agenda of hiring certain people. Who gives a shit? It's an alien world, alien galaxy with thousands of different aliens. There's dozens of different people on Earth. Why wouldn't they be up there in space? So, I mean, the people that berate Disney over, oh, you're hiring Asian actresses or you're hiring actresses in general. I mean, you just make yourself sound like an ignorant douchebag when you argue those points. You can't eloquently argue those without looking like a heartless asshole. I mean, who cares about that stuff? At the end of the day, it should be about entertainment. If you're entertained, leave the fucking movie alone and be entertained. Be happy that for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, you're not on Earth with all the crap we gotta deal with. Stop bringing the bullshit that's on this planet right now into these movies. Enjoy them for the entertainment's sake alone. Anyway, I don't mean to be on a soapbox. I really don't. I just want to say everyone needs to give this movie a chance. I loved it. Let me know what you thought. Hit me up in the comments and let me know what you thought about the movie. I mean, I'm happy enough with it being a popcorn flick. Were you? I mean, did you want a big mythology to blow your mind? I didn't. I just wanted what I got, and I loved it. Anyway, leave a comment, subscribe, do what you will. I'll see you next time. My name is Rob. Keep being rad, stay dorky, and peace out!